Yo, yo! What goes on with everybody? Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're gonna move on with episode 1 of the second game, The Adventure of the Blossoming Attorney. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody holding up alright? I hope everybody is doing okay. So we're back. So to those who don't remember what happened last time, which was last night, so what happened is that we found out that the photographer may be involved with this, the same photographer who's taken pictures of Soseki-san the whole time, the really sus photographer. And I do mean sus indeed, so we're gonna go figure that out tonight. So, let's do it. We're in the antechamber. I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin. Ray. You have a strong sense of responsibility, I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone. The photographer was on cams. Oh, we caught him on cams for sure. By the way, chat, how is the audio? Is the audio a-okay with everybody? Also, do I look fantastic or what? No, that's not it at all. I was scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. So I hope to retrieve the substance from the Englishwoman before anyone found out. Before the trial started, do you remember what you said, Susato? That you had no doubt in your mind about my innocence? That you stand by me to the last? I remember. And yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. Hit me, Susato, I deserve it. No, in fact, throw me to the floor. And thus, the Susato takedown 2 happened. Everybody remembers the incident of the Susato takedown in the courtroom. No, that's too good for me as well. Drag me through the city streets. Oh, I'm no better, you know. Oh. Even though in my heart I knew that you pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's back, there was just a brief moment when, in my mind, I doubted you. Susato, I'm sorry, after I stood here and promised you that I stand by you and always be on your side, I betrayed your faith in me too. And as such, I failed you as a lawyer. Oh no. I think the situation has taught both of you a valuable lesson. Placing your unbridled faith in another is no easy task. Yes, Father, that fact has certainly struck home. Which is why I can see more clearly now. So, Ray, yes? Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? She says no. Like, sorry, no, bye. Oh, Susato. You know you'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now. Oh, Ray. Well, she's happy now. She's smiling. What's poppin' with you, Greg? I was so scared, you know, when it happened. I didn't know what was going on. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. I know it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet and took a nap right there on the floor before collapsing on the floor in front of me with a knife in her back. You know, chat, these things happen, right? You're talking with somebody, then they fall over, taking a nap on the floor. They just misplaced their knife in their back. I do it all the time. It's funny, that's the third knife in my back this week. It all happened right before my eyes. And you were the only person in the hut at the time? That's right, just Miss Brett and myself. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she could possibly have been stabbed like that. A great mystery indeed. I still can't believe it happened. That's why I just couldn't bring myself to speak up. It'll be alright. However it happened. Also, the chat may be cropped incorrectly a bit on stream? What do you mean a bit incorrectly? What do you mean? I didn't see. A little bit on the right is cut off. A little bit on the right is cut off. I don't see it. Dang it, I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. I was not looking. I need to see more of an example. I can't see. What was it? What was it that took it away? A little bit on the right was chopped off. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's fixed now. Thank you, CV, for having a stroke right on stream. There you go. Thank you for the stroke. Strokes do work out in the end, no matter what anybody says. However it happened and whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything you've said you saw is true. Is what you do best. So CV, how's it going? Ah! Same. Spoken like a true Mikotoba. Now, I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure we have our facts in order. Yes, I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming proceedings. The police should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now. The trouble is, it's a completely new lab-synthesized blend of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it. Oh, I see. So here's the way to test it. If the police can't test it, drink it. Just drink the poison. That's some good alkaloid poison. Yes, without this chemical region, it's impossible to detect the toxin. Hey, Sidetrix, how's it going? How's it going, amigo? Chemical region? I sent a colleague of mine with some earlier to deliver to police HQ. I think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case. Just in case, they say. Susato ends up with a knife in her back. Oh no, I've been stabbed. Regent. What's the matter, Susato? You're suddenly very quiet. It's this newspaper article. After this trial, can we use the alternate costumes? There's alternate costumes? What do you mean alternate costumes? Exclusive, deadly poison stolen from UMA Medical Research Lab. I'm wondering how the info got out, given that it was a government secret. It was all the English woman's doing for being English and woman. What? It was when the professor and Soseki-san were being interviewed at the lab. That so-called English lady swanned in. I get it, swanned in. She came in like a swan, and without any compunction said to Professor Mikotoba, "Oh, Professor, surely your guests will love to hear about your work on that substance there." There's a settings thing in the main menu I can toggle them from. Well, chat, should I? It put me in a very awkward position, to be frank. But Soseki-san's curiosity has been piqued, so I had little choice but to give him a cursory introduction. So then, Soseki-san knew about the poison. Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who was writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin too. This Many Memo-san. By the way, did that reporter join you all when you went to the beach? Oh, no, I don't remember the reporter being there. But he did take the photo, so... Let's see, there's like 3 DLC costumes that came with the game, but they only work in the second game. You like Sasato's and Ryunosuke's alt outfits, but Shomu's outfit as is. We'll give him a look-see after this episode, alright? Indeed, he shouldn't have been. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there. Oh? A known criminal had been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. So Seki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to his office. Yet he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph. And then presumably he posted it, anonymously, to the police. Oh. Yes, that must be what happened. That is what happened. It's so sus. The only thing that's missing is his freaking autograph on it. Counsel, we just heard that the new witness is now ready to testify. The trial is about to resume. Please proceed into the courtroom at once. Thank you, eyeless man. It's time to steel ourselves once again, then. Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo. Yes. By the way, I love Susato's outfit. It's great. It works so well. Ray has put her faith in me now and told me everything, so I can't let her down. I have to prove that what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day. Let's head back in, shall we? We get to see cool Sasato being Sasato. Let's head back in, shall we? Supreme Court of Justice, courtroom 1. Also, I have to check because I'm also doing my weekend thing too. I hereby call this court to order as we reconvene to continue the trial of Rei Membami. As we do that, and that, stop that, delete that, and I don't have to come back to this for another 40 minutes. Give me a second, chat, while I take this out. Doing weekend work while streaming is kind of crazy, chat, but it's what I do to get extra money from my job. I mean, what can I do? What can I do? All right, I think we are set for another 40 minutes. All right, cool. Let's continue. All right, we're back. Prosecutor Alchi, have you summoned a new witness? Before I address that question, Your Excellency, I have some very important news to share. Oh? What news? Trial is canceled. Everybody go home. Have I seen the new Digimon series yet? I mean, there's Digimon Adventure, Ghost Game. There's another one, another one. And why does he look so happy about it? During the recess, with the collaboration of Professor Mikotoba's lab at Yumi University, the police re-examined the knife that was used to end Miss Giselle Brett's life. Excellent. I admire your rapid handling of the matter. Oh, too kind, Your Excellency. Too kind. I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course. So for Ghost Game, I've only seen 2-3 episodes. I did not see much, but I do love the new mascot Digimon. What's his name again? I do love him though. It's cute. He's cute. I had the region delivered to Police HQ by rickshaw, so we'll be there in good time. But judging by the man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable. Gammamon. I love Gammamon. Yes, that's what it is. I love Gammamon. Gammamon is cute. I love him so much. And counsel, what were the results? It says right here, you are woman. This dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade. What? Are you sure about that? I would stake the reputation of the police on it. Do I not like the series? It's not that. It's just that there's so many things I'm watching right now. I was watching One Piece for a long time. I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now. Yeah. And I'm watching Ranking of Kings on the side as well, so there's a lot on my plate right now. I do need to make more room for more anime, so I will get to more stuff soon before the new anime comes out for this season. For the spring season, I mean. There's so many good things coming out. Armed with the region, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake. So there's no trace of poison on the blade. Yeah, I know about Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I still need to watch the series because I'm only 4 episodes in. Yeah, I am. In short, the accused's feeble excuse earlier has been utterly destroyed. Ah! Imagine being a defense lawyer and having your back broken because of a freaking error. It's like, oh dang, I need a massage after this case. Man, masseuse must be getting paid big by these guys. Now the prosecution is ready to call the new witness. The newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph at the crucial moment. Good. Oh boy, very well. Officer, bring in the witness. No trace of poison on the knife. But if that's really the case, How could the toxin have entered the victim's body? I don't know, maybe the pen? Pen? Ah, he's writing his fan fiction. I do the same thing too. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Ah, write-in mini memo of the Show You News. I'm what people like to call a journo. What's a journo, father? Do you know? It's simply a contraction of journalist. I'm there where the news breaks, putting pen to paper to catch those scoops so they're in print the next morning. They don't call me the hero of the Herald for nothing. The nice guy of news. Oh no, he's a nice guy. Oh, so it was you who took this photograph, was it? Well, well, what have we here? I'm sorry? Oh, brace yourselves, people. Many memos sent a scoop in the offing. Female student up to foul played defended by curiously handsome young lawyer in Supreme Court. The readers will lap this up. We'll set it above the fold at 72 point in a 5-leg format for the morning edition. Huh? Right then. Let's start with your name. It's Ryotaro Naruhodo. Next, what made you want to become a lawyer? I wanted to reform our country's legal system, I suppose. Ryotaro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see. I just borrowed a Kazuma-sama's dream for a while. Just borrowing it, it's mine now, yoink. By the way, my name is Takasuchi Aochi. That's Takasuchi Aochi. The so-called dark horse of the Supreme Court. My ejections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart. No, the readers won't buy that. Ah! Witness? Yes? What this court demands to know is whether or not you were responsible for the taking of this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday. Yeah, I wouldn't be a journal if I didn't click quick when presented with a scoop like that now, would I? Sometimes stories call out to me, sometimes I have to chase them down, but either way, you gotta be fast. Fast legs to run with and a fast hand to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, I always say. That's what I call my many-memoism. Many-memoism? Ah, yes, I remember your face. We met that day when you were interviewing myself and Tosaki-san. Yes, right. That was me, Many Memo again. But you were supposed to be going back to the Show You News offices after our meeting. But the scoop is, I didn't. Because that English woman's words had piqued my journalistic interest. Miss Brett's words? A criminal left to do as she pleases just because she happens to be a British citizen? It's horse dung. This country's judiciary is rotten to the core. The Supreme Court's rulings aren't worth the paper they're written on. The police are just imperial pawns. Stay your tongue, young man. There are complex political issues at play. Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down those words she said in my memo pad. Can you say that 5 times fast, chat? Memo pad. Many memo pad. Wow. Memo pad. Many memo pad. I can't. Try saying that 5 times fast though. Many memo pad. Oh, you ready? I'll read it out. It's all here, right? Here goes. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. A serious criminal going on some junket? The people need to know about this. That's why I decided to sneak after him. To get the woman's story so I can hammer her in the press. Do you mean to say that you did indeed witness it firsthand? The grim scene portrayed in this photograph? Oh yes, I saw with my very own journal eyes. From start to finish, through the viewfinder of my trusty camera. Thank you, Many Memo-san. You will now give a formal testimony before the court. You will state exactly what it is that you witnessed on the event surrounding Miss Brett's death. Oh boy, here we go. We're going against a journalist. Oh yeah, it's a tongue-twisting stream. Many memo pad. Many memo pad. Many memo pad. The beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screens, so there was plenty of gaps I could see inside through. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor as he stabbed her in the back. My smoldering journal spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot. Can you let go of those, please? He loves stretching those. Reed screens, you say? Right, you can see through clearly enough in that great shot I snapped. The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds. Yes, it allows the breeze to pass through and bring some relief in the summer heat. And it was a breeze for me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up. Ignoring for the time being the appalling invasion of privacy involved, did you witness everything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut? The Pizza Hut? Remember, chat, you cannot out-pizza the hut. You cannot out-beach the hut either, okay? There is no hut to out. Oh yes, I saw it. I saw the whole thing from start to finish. And you say that you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens. Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reeds apart and thrust the lens of my camera through the gap. Would I get away with it, or would I be seen? It was the gamble of a lifetime. Oh yeah, chat, can I say one thing real quick? So I hope you like the new setup I got going on here. I finally got the green screen to fit in my cozy room though. I was gonna say tiny, but it is tiny. So literally, the void is back. The void will always return. I finally got a way to make it fit. I can make the void will never leave me again. The void is here forever, chat. The void is love. The void is life. Void. A tenacity of purpose that's considered admirable in a journalist, I suppose. Run a risk one day, run a scoop the next. That's many memoism in a nutshell. At last, it would appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I believe we may be close to a verdict. No! Wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful. Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that this testimony begs one very large question. What question? Exclusive news, a startling photograph, all the makings of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why then was the story never published? Oh, that's right. Oh, he got you there, It seems clear to me that there are circumstances at play here that are yet to be understood. More prophetic excuses. Are you telling me that the news might be fake? Very well done, counsel. Proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Excellency. There's more to this reported than meets the eye. Transformers? He's keeping something about this case very close to his chest. I think that's the strap hitting his heart right there. All those straps are hitting his chest like full force. Like, imagine taking off your shirt and it's like lines of straps from getting smacked on all the time. The beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screen, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. Oh wait, I'm a doofus. This is cross-examination. I press. What made you want to see what was happening inside the beach hut in the first place? Call it journal instinct. Can you think of a better reason? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps because as well as being a proven criminal, the person inside was a young woman. I see where you're going with this. Brace yourselves, people. He's painting a journal as a voyeur. It's hardly slander, sir. You had a camera and you were taking pictures without the woman's knowledge. Nope, you've got it all wrong, little student boy. Sorry? To my mind, all that was inside that hut was a scoop. Nothing more, nothing less. Scoops know no gender, man or woman, it's all news. That's not even menomism. It's basic journalism. If only the courtroom was as indiscriminate. Right, so if that's all buttoned up, can we move on? Tell the court then, witness, what sight befell your eyes when you looked inside the hut? A sight that vindicated my journal instinct, that's what. When I pulled back the reeds, I could see it all as clear as day. I saw the Pizza Hut. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing. They yelled, they smacked, they fight. So you actually saw Membami-san entering the hut. Yup, and she was raging like my journal spirit. And the argument you mentioned, what was that about exactly? You stole it. I didn't steal it. That kind of thing. Talking about the poison, I suppose? The student girl walked right up to the English woman and really started laying into her. I mean, if she laid into her anymore, there would have been eggs. The man should have been an author. His descriptive talents are wasted on journalism. But the student's rantings fell on deaf ears, like a Japanese person listening to English for the first time. He really ought to work on his similes first, though, to be honest. Anyway, the point is, that woman in the dock was mightily angry. And her temper finally got the better of her, it seems. Dear me. Which was the climactic moment that I caught on film. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, threw on the English woman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back. Do you swear before this court that you actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place? The precise moment? I didn't see just that. I saw the whole hellish scene play out from start to finish. I have here a simple plan of the beach hut. Perhaps you could use it to explain to the court exactly what you witnessed. Right you are. It's all here in my Sorry, it's such a tongue twister saying that every time. When I first peered into the Pizza Hut, I'm sure that the English woman was on this stool at the back of the hut here. Yes, the accuser's own testimony confirmed that. She just sat at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly is what I've noted down. It's my turn to testify now. Try not to interrupt. Then the next moment, as I was watching, the evil student girl entered the hut. After a while, the pair of them ended in the middle of the hut, arguing furiously. The English woman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way. And in a flash, plunged a knife into her adversary's back as the two passed each other. By the way, chat, can I just say one thing? I can't wait for not this upcoming Friday, but the next Friday when the Mario Kart 8 DLC comes out. I am going to be streaming the new Mario Kart 8 DLC, so I cannot wait to return to Mario Kart 8 once again. Gonna try out those new courses and stink at them. What you describe as a grim crime indeed. Never sugarcoat the truth. By the way, chat, I don't know, I've never tried wearing suspenders like that. I've never tried. I feel like I should one day. Just one day, just cosplay as Many Memo-san and nobody would ever get who I am. Except for the people who played Great Ace Attorney. Alright, so now we got the plan. What's the plan, man? By the way, Many Memo-san, whilst you were watching that terrible scene unfold before your eyes through the gap in the screen, did it not occur to you to try to prevent the tragedy rather than capture it on film? The cameraman doesn't do anything, you know that. Journalists have to be observers, we can't get involved. That's our raison d'etre. So you didn't converse with Miss Brett at all? Obviously not. An observer always remains on the outside looking in. Coconut mauled? With this coconut maul, you will get memed. And that's something to be proud of, is it? I'm always proud of getting coconut mauled because that means I get to share with all my friends that they also get coconut mauled as well. Your Excellency, if I may. Yes, Professor? I think the witness's last expertly phrased statement should perhaps be added to his formal testimony. Father, what are you? Father, I will grant the defense's request. Many Memo-san, you will supplement your formal testimony with the aforementioned statement. Well, nihilism is the foundation of many memoism, but I'll gladly prove that my words aren't meaningless. Let's see what this one is. I never once set foot in the hut nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was only there as an observer. Really? You didn't set foot inside the hut at all? Are you quite sure about that? I think you may have the wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene here. My nerves were stretched to breaking point already. Oh, I see. You were scared. Maybe I did have the wrong impression of you, yes. It was all I could do to stifle a scream and hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot. You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera. Many memoism and humanism don't always agree. And most of the time in those instances, many memoism comes out on top. As a sculptor of stories, sometimes I have to be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on. Surely he's making all this up. But yeah, I think I got it though. He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating. But it does seem as though he's holding something back, doesn't it? If that's how you feel, I suggest that you trust your instincts and press him on everything he said. As you've no doubt seen done many times before in your role as judicial assistant. Yes, I have. I've seen witnesses like this pressed often. I know exactly what to do. Cry. Cry harder. Try not to cry. Cry the hardest. Oh, we didn't do the other ones, though. It's all good. I think I know what to do for the last statement, though. He never once set foot in? Then what's this? This looks like it was inside.
Objection!
Oh, wait. Was he not really inside? But did I get tricked? Oh, I got tricked, didn't I? That seemed way too easy right there. Ah, flip, that did seem way too easy. Ah, he was only there as an observer, but never inside. But wait, what about the pen, though? I could present the pen, but I don't think that would work either, though. Well, maybe that could work. I don't know. Could the pen work? Or should I just press the other stuff? I'm just gonna save just in case because I don't want to waste too much life doing these mistakes, but the thing is, this could be his pen.
Objection!
There we go. Many Memo-san, until now I've had a firm belief that newspapers are in the business of uncovering and publishing the truth. You're spot on there. The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the emblem of Shoyu News on my arm. In a way, that's more many memoism. Sadly though, it seems the journalists who write for those papers don't always share the same passion for the truth. What are you suggesting with those recriminatory words, Counsel? Many Memo-san, do you recognize this fountain pen? This pen was found at the scene of Miss Brett's death. In fact, the murdered victim was gripping it in her hand as she died. What are you? If you look at the barrel of the pen, you'll notice that its owner's initials are engraved there. R.M. Yes, for real man. Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Counsel. The initials of the accused, Ray Membami. Is it a coincidence, I wonder? That your initials are also RM? No! Write-in Memo RM. That's horse tongue. Can't you see? One of the central tenets of many memoism is being a pencil user. And yet, as the court will clearly be able to see, on your right hand, there is a very obvious blue ink stain. That's good pencil right there, isn't it? Alright, chat. Look closely at him. See him eat that pencil up. So you stare at that. I'll be right back in about 20 minutes, alright? Enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed it. Those were a fun 20 minutes. It would appear that you must have rather carelessly left it somewhere recently. Your favorite fountain pen, that is? Horsey horse tongue! Many Memo-san, is it not the case that before she died, you met with Giselle Brett in that beach hut?
Objection!
Why should we listen to this absurd nonsense? It's nothing but another excuse. Exactly. Shoyu News will stand behind me all the way. I deny everything. There must be as many people with the initials RM as there are stars in the night sky. But the thing is, the emblem is there. The defense has neither the time nor the inclination to count every star in the sky. And there is no need anyway, because this pen has more to tell. Yes, there is another clue. A clue that undeniably proves who its owner really is. In that case, counsel, the defense will now show the court where this alleged clue lies. Of course, Your Excellency. The clue on this fountain pen that clearly reveals its owner identity is... First, we open pen. If we take off the pen's lid... And then... Oh wait, it's right here. I didn't have to do anything, it's right here. As well as the initials, there is also an emblem on this fountain pen. An emblem that you will of course recognize, Mini Memo-san. Goodness me, it's the emblem of the Shoyu News. In other words, the owner of this pen is an employee of the Shoyu News whose initials are RM. Suddenly the stars in the night sky don't seem so numerous, do they? Well, Mini Memo-san, how do you respond? No! Nice socks. Order! Explain yourself, witness. Nah, sorry, I'm blind. So, this is how the mighty Supreme Court works, is it? Using coercive tactics to have well-meaning citizens reveal harmless secrets. I've used nothing but honest tactics. Alright then, fine. I won't try to hide it anymore. Yes, not long before that grim tragedy unfolded, I, a Shoyu News reporter on behalf of the public, conducted an interview with the Englishwoman. An interview? You never mentioned this before. When exactly was this? As I said, it was before that evil little student girl showed her face in the hut. It couldn't have lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes, that's all. It was just a brief exchange. But it came to nothing, and as we many memoist? Oh, many memoist. For a second there, I thought that said many memoist. I'm sorry about that. Many memoists say that people don't pay their dues for unworthy news. However insignificant you deem it to be, this court cannot overlook the meeting between yourself and the victim. You will testify now under oath about the precise nature of this meeting and what transpired. Got it, yes, alright, but... on one condition. Condition? In all good conscience, I couldn't speak out alone about this. You need to call back the earlier witness, Soseki Natsume-san. Soseki-san? Oh yes, according to my notes here, that man has a secret of his own, and brace yourselves, because it's not a harmless one. What? Not Soseki-san, anything but him? Many memoism states that one man's secret is every other man's front page story. Very well, I will grant the witness's request in this instance. Officer, summon the earlier witness back to the stand. Soseki-san, hiding something? No. 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 Alright, here we go. It's... many memo. I asked the Englishwoman for an interview, but she declined, so I left the hut without making a fuss. Then, watching secretly from outside, I saw the woman being stabbed and the other witnesses come running. The detective realized that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help. That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question. But he didn't say anything about that in his testimony, which is why many memoism demands I reveal it now. Then reveal it. Say it. You won't. You mean to say the victim regained consciousness? Well, and when she did, you decided to ask her a question? That's, true, yes. He did, and that's not all. The woman gave him a very definite answer. An answer that incriminates the accused. Oh. This is preposterous. Why am I only hearing this now? Why didn't you mention this before, you yokel hack? It wasn't even a conversation. Yes, I did pose the withering English Rose a question. I don't deny that. But she could no longer speak. She was barely conscious, even. Counsel for the defense, I expect a thorough cross-examination to be conducted here. This court must and will know the truth. Absolutely, Your Excellency. The reporter is claiming that Miss Brett implicated Ray somehow? What on earth could have happened in that hut? What happened in the Pizza Hut? Here we go. I asked the Englishwoman for an interview, but she declined, so I left the hut without making a fuss. You asked her for an interview, you say? Well, of course I did. I wanted to ask her about the incident she was involved in at the end of last year. About the case in which Dr. John H. Wilson lost his life. Wilson, not Wilson. That's not the way I phrased it. Many memoism calls for straight talking. Why did you murder Dr. Wilson? Is how I put it to her. Yes, that sort of talking is as straight as a ruler. Ask every question as if you're speaking for a menu in a restaurant, I say. It's the best way. A veteran at the paper taught me that. And how does Miss Brett answer? With one simple phrase. Mystery is a woman's charm. Woo, that told me, so I waltzed right out of there. Really? Something about that doesn't quite seem to fit together. Leave every room as if you're waltzing in a dance hall, I say. It's the best way. A veteran at the paper taught me that. Then, watching secretly from outside, I saw the woman being stabbed and the other witnesses come running. That was very persistent of you, considering that Miss Brett had just turned you away. Persistence wins the prize. Many memoist would tell you that. Let them think you've left, and just when they lower their guard, that's when you swoop in for the scoop. And the fruits of your labor are all too apparent in this telling photograph. Though I'm sure the young yokel student would rather not be reminded of this damning evidence. Actually, it's thanks to that photograph that we managed to identify this witness. And now that you found me, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I've got nothing to hide. I'm sure. Please do go ahead, witness. The court is eager to hear what you have to say. Me too. Try to stop me. There's a story to tell here and I'm going to tell it. The detective realized that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help with Mr. Turtle. And so Seki-san remained behind in the hut? That's right, yup. Our Arthur friend here was a blabbering wreck, shaking all over from his head to his toes. Mustache twitching, eyes bulging, heart pounding, feet sweating, mom spaghetti. What do you expect? You don't know the terrifying troubles that taunted me whilst traveling abroad. Back behind baleful bars. They'll be coming for me, surely. That's all I could think. I felt as though as I was gasping for air, drowning in a sea of cold sweat. Orso Seki-san, his experiences in London have scarred him deeply. He's been scarred for life. As the world seemed too close to close in around me, I quietly recited a prayer to Amida Buddha. Eternal emptiness, empty eternity. The end is coming for me, surely. No sutras are to resound in my courtroom, please. And now, we've come to the crucial part. That's when it happened. That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question. What question? What exactly did he say? Well now, you should hear that from the horse's mouth, I think. Don't you, Mr. Writer Man? Outwit it, you yokel hack. What did you say to her? What did you say to the dying English woman? I said, have a great fall. Well, in truth, I've been catching crabs at the water's edge and building castles in the sand, you see. Well, the seaside is a place to be at leisure, I suppose, even for a grown man. But then, All of a sudden, from that little beach shot, a young girl's panic-stricken cries for help pierced the air. Ray. I ran up to the beach to see what was happening, to find the defendant leaning over the collapsed victim. As soon as Inspector Hosanaga saw him spread on the ground, he sprinted off to get help. And then, just a moment later, I heard a faint moan. A moan from the dead Englishwoman. I nearly jumped out of my skin! But what did you ask her, Soseki-san? I asked her, who did this to you? Don't protract this any longer. How did the woman respond? She didn't. She said nothing in response. When in the stand, you will answer the questions asked of you unambiguously. Now, without evasion or reticence, I demand that you amend your testimony. I will! I asked her who did this to you, but she never replied. So you try to find out who the culprit was. He who asks a question is a fool for a minute. He who does not remains a fool forever. And having been labeled a criminal twice during my time in Great Britain, I was quick to make up my mind. Better to be a fool for a minute than remain a fool in prison forever. However, you've indicated that the victim failed to respond, is that correct? I know why the Englishwoman said nothing. She was ignoring me because of my stupid mustache, because I'm Japanese. Oh dear, so Seki-san has really developed a dislike for the English, it seems. Having read the report on his time in Great Britain, I can't say I'm surprised at his xenophobia. Yeah. But the Englishwoman didn't ignore you at all. Did she, Mr. Riderman? Well, yes, alright. She did respond in a manner of speaking, I suppose. Hold on, I got a fan over here. Let me get it closer to me. Blow air at me. At me. At me. At me. That's better. She just lifted a trembling finger and pointed in the direction of the defendant. Ms. Brett pointed a finger at the defendant. So Seki-san, is that really true? We'll find out after I click this real quick. Alright, should be good. Hey Joker, how's it going, amigo? It's not easy to stand here and say this, but when we first entered the beach hut, the Englishwoman was sprawled on the floor before us with a student girl standing on the far side of her. And when I asked who did this to you... Oh my goodness, this giant hand just came out of nowhere. It was this! Her! It was her! It was definitely the giant hand that just came out of nowhere. I mean, I'd be creeped out if a giant hand just popped out of nowhere, let me tell ya. Well, I'm just doing a little adjustment to the text box real quick. There we go. Alright, cool. The Englishwoman summoned her last ounce of strength to point a trembling finger at the back of the hut. I love the giant hand. Oh, dang it, I gotta fix it again because everything changed. Every single time I keep forgetting that. Give me a second, chat. I'll fix it. I gotta fix everything. It will just take a minute, chat. I'll be real done with it, and then I'll blow myself up just for you, chat. All right, you ready? Here you go, fandom. This is for you. Then I gotta do it again to everything else. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Then I gotta fix this before somebody does something, and it's not gonna be nice at all. So it's that much. So I'm gonna put this here. Well, we will see what happens. There we go. Alright, I think I fixed it all for now. Sorry about that, chat. But yes, I'm doing okay. Which was, it can't be denied, in the direction of the student girl who stands accused today. Ah, the dog's on the wrong side. The dog did some friggin' ultra, like, teleporting bonk right there. I'll fix it after the stream. That's a lot more stuff to do. No. So, Psyche-san, why on earth did you neglect to mention this in your original testimony? But, fiddlesticks, ah! Oh. Oh no, everything is broken. Why is everything broken? That took so long. I gotta put this up here. Let's try that again, okay? Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, I got that fixed now. It's just that whenever I try to change where I am and everything, like me, the text box, all that stuff, I have to... It breaks every single time. It breaks. Everything is broken, chat. I'm broken. The game's broken. Everything's broken. So, Citrix, you were asking about Kirby and the Forgotten Land demo. Did I enjoy it? I did a video on it. Watch my video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't. But yes, I loved it. I want the full game already. Where's the full game, Nintendo? I want to play it now. I want the full game now. I love the demo. If you like, please watch the video I did on the demo. It was a fun time. This is not a British court of law. You will respond in Japanese. Yes, of course, the English woman did point her finger towards the back of the hut, but why not just have multiple scenes for each camera location? Then you'll have to keep adjusting every stream. CB, that sounds easy, but my webcam can only allow one source at a time. If I copy and paste it, it won't work. It will just say that the one right now is the main one, and the others don't matter, no matter what I do. I would have to delete the original to make the second one work. So I have to decide a single point to make this work. As much as I like the webcam because of how clear I look, it's really complicated, so I gotta find... But I was trembling, and she was trembling, and everything was a blur. And thinking about it, I feel as though perhaps she was pointing in a slightly different direction. Actually, no, not slightly, in a very different direction to where the student girl was standing. To somewhere at the back of the hut where nobody was standing at all. You mean that your memory of events and the direction in which the victim was pointing are both unclear? Yes, that's it, unclear. I'm very, very unclear. Your Excellency, surely this proves the matter beyond all reasonable doubt. Yes, the woman may barely have been conscious, and yes, perhaps her finger wavered slightly, but there can be no doubt that this was an attempt by the victim to confirm the identity of her assailant. Why? Because as the court can see, there was no one other than the accused in the direction the victim was pointing. How do I like Ryutaro right now? Sustaro? Miss Sustaro, I love Sustaro. She looks great. It is now abundantly clear that no one besides the accused could possibly have committed this crime. I am inclined to agree. And in the absence of any credible argument to the contrary, I believe we can now conclude this trial. No. No! My back! The headline's writing itself. Dashing lawyers hopes dash. 92 point across the whole page. We'll do an extra edition. This is a serious blow, Susato, to your back. Unless we're able to identify the true culprit and substantiate our claim with evidence, the judge will give his ruling and the trial will be over. But that's impossible, Father. We don't even know how the crime was committed yet. Impossible, though the test may seem, we have no choice. We must think back over everything we've learned thus far. Somewhere in all those details, I'm confident we'll find the clue we need. Ray gave us her account of how events unfolded in the defendant's antechamber before the trial resumed. She told us what happened at the precise moment Miss Brett was killed. The English woman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying, and then a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet. Before collapsing on the floor in front of me, with a knife in her back. How could Miss Brett have been stabbed in the back in a beach hut that was empty but for herself and Ray? Well, the reeds, they were talking about the hut reeds, right? You can easily move them and then stab. Like a button on a robot. Somewhere amid all the info we've gathered so far, there must be an answer to that question. I take it then that the defense has nothing further to add. So the gallant yokel student's luck finally runs out. I can't see I'm surprised. In that case, I'm ready to deliver my final verdict on this matter. This is a crucial turning point now. If I can't establish what really happened, it's over. Where was the real culprit hiding? And how did he or she stab the victim? I know how.
Objection!
Ooh, the slow. Also, stay hydrated, everybody. Stay hydrated. Oh yeah, chat. I don't know if you saw my bottle, but you can. I don't know if you can see like all the stuff clearly, but it's a Katamari Damacy water bottle. It's got like little logos of everything from the game. So if anybody remembers about Katamari Damacy, they should remember the bear. The bears. But I do want to play the other Katamari games on the stream soon, since I've only played one of them. So if I can find a way to play the others, you'll be sure to see them soon. Keep in mind that theoretically every question in the last game should be answered in this game, or at least that's what Shu Takumi said in the announcement. Cool. Your Excellency, I respectfully ask you to postpone your adjudication for the time being. Oh, to what end, counsel? The defense would like to present the court with an alternative theory. An alternative theory that can explain who the victim was actually trying to implicate with her dying gesture.
Objection!
An alternative theory? None exists.
Objection!
There was someone else present at the scene who could have committed this crime. What? And the victim, Miss Brett, tried to reveal who it was to those around her at the time by mustering all of her remaining strength and pointing a trembling finger in the killer's direction. This is fiction, fantasy. Is this real life? Very well, as you seem so sure of yourself, counsel, I'm prepared to hear your alternative theory. So, young Ryotaro Naruhodo. Yes, your excellency. Mario games? What about Mario games? I mean, I did play the original Mario and Rabbids game on my YouTube channel as well. Check that out, give us some likes, show some love on those things. Every little bit helps. I do want to play the new Sparks of Hope game. Because the cutscenes, the CG cutscenes in the first game were beautiful. The game looks amazing. I wonder how much they improved in Sparks of Hope. I wonder if they're going to look so beautiful they look movie quality. You will present your latest theory to the court by means of this plan. At the moment the victim was stabbed, where exactly are you proposing the culprit was concealed? I'm gonna say the culprit... She was over here, so the culprit has to be back here. In the back. Naruhodo-san will never give up, and I'm a Naruhodo now, so that means I'm him. The true culprit who fatally stabbed Miss Brett is concealed in this location here. Are you mad, counsel? You're suggesting the culprit was outside the hut? The Pizza Hut? What? The culprit was on the ceiling. If that happened, the beach hut would just collapse. Actually, that would be funny though. Fall down and then do the Family Guy like falling down pose where they got like their arms behind their back and everything. Like the same Family Guy pose for like every freaking person. But student lawyer Naruhodo-san Esquire, that makes no sense at all. You've just pointed out the exact spot where I was hiding to get my scoop snap. But I didn't see any sus individuals loitering about, I can swear to that. Obviously, if the culprit had been outside the hut, there is no way that he or she could have stabbed the victim who was inside the hut. Actually, the prosecutor Alchi, there was a way. And in point of fact, the defense can wow. The defense can provide, wow. I can't read. The defense can provide evidence strongly suggesting that is precisely the way Miss Brett was killed. You're bluffing. You're bluffing, you yokel. Stop saying that. The defense's assertion is clearly too fantastical for the court to comprehend. You will need to give us more guidance, counsel. What piece of evidence corroborates your theory that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut? This incriminating photograph? Well, I presented it now. Oh, it's wrong. But it proves that you can just look through. You can look through the briefs. Am I too quick to answer? Dang it. There should be a visible trace somewhere. A trace, yes, on the hut itself. Armed with that idea, I must look through the court record again. I'm answering way too quickly, chat, aren't I? I have to think a bit, don't I? This second game is tricking me up a lot. Oh. Oh. Line. Line. I see line.
Take that.
The original photographic print of the crime scene? Yes, it's clearly visible in this print. The trace of the fatal thrust that was delivered from outside the beach hut. Do you take us for fools? There's no hint of any such thing. I'm not sure that everyone present would agree. Someone, at least, appears to have noticed what it is that I'm referring to. Counsel, once again, I must call on you to be explicit for the court. Where on earth this photograph is the trace of the stabbing which you claim took place from outside the Pizza Hut? Over here! Over there! Ah! Look closely just here. In the screen at the back of the hut, you can see the effects of a blade having been forced through the reeds. No, I can't. I can't see any such thing. It's true that the hut in question had 4 walls as you expect. However, by parting the reeds, a knife blade could easily penetrate them. This is extraordinary. Yes. The true culprit actually stabbed the victim from outside the beach hut. And of everyone present at the scene, there is only one person who could have done that. Only one person who was directly outside the hut when Miss Brett was killed. Right, and many Memo-san, it could have only been you. Ow!
Objection!
This preposterous idea leaves me almost speechless. Just look at the photograph again. The victim lies almost exactly in the center of the beach hut, does she not? Are we to assume as part of this farcical scenario that the assailant was a knife thrower?
Objection!
No, of course not. We're not. If you recall the testimony of the defendant about the events just before the victim's death, inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett, but she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. A stool? Have another look at the photograph. Stool. The slit in the reed screen would align perfectly with the back of a person who was sitting on the stool. My word, so in fact, the victim was killed while sitting on that stool by a stab wound to her back delivered through the reed screen. Having been attacked, Miss Brett rose to her feet instinctively, but then, unable to speak, she collapsed on the floor in the middle of the hut before the defendant Minbami-san's appalled eyes. And that, Your Excellency, is the truth of what happened on the beach that day. My hat. By your silence, many Memo-san? I take it that you don't deny the charge. This is absurd! Oh, careful with the long messages, though. Oh my goodness, why so long, though? Why do people write such long messages? It's hard to read all of that. That will do. Please keep your messages short. If they're long, I'm not gonna stop and read all that. What do you want me to read? The One Piece rap lyrics? Here's how the story goes. It's treasure in the Grand Line. There's no doubt the pirate's eyes on, and he'll sing, "I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king. Yeah yo, yo ho, ho. His name is Luffy. That's Monkey D. Luffy. He's king of the pirates. He's made of rubber. How did that happen? Yo ho ho. He took a bite of gum. Go." It would appear that we have a toxic admission of guilt from the witness. Accordingly, this court has successfully established the truth of this matter, which means that the defendant, Minbami-san, is innocent of the crime. Oh, thank goodness. I finally made him cave. I must say, I've never been more proud. No, this can't be. The Archie clan can't. What of my growth of hope? It wasn't all an apparition. I can't accept this. I won't. I see no reason for the continuance of this trial. I will therefore move to conclude proceedings by delivering my final I knew it, it's not over yet. If he didn't do his final breakdown, no final breakdown, we didn't win yet. Well, this is all very convenient. This is how the highest court in our mighty empire delivers justice, is it? Suppressing well-meaning citizens' freedom to speak and branding them as criminals. But we've established that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut, through the reed screen walls. And no one but you was in place at the time to have his hand on the hilt of the blade. It's a perfectly logical deduction. So, your argument hinges on the location of whoever stabbed the Englishwoman, does it? Well, it seems a little irrelevant now. Irrelevant? Where she was stabbed, how she was stabbed, it doesn't matter. I mean, whether she was stabbed at all makes no difference if you think about it. After all, this trial's already shown the whole thing hinges on something else. All of that and freaking Soseki sounds like, is the camera right behind us? Hey camera, that's moving away from us. What are you talking about? Brace yourself, little man. I'm talking about the fact that everything's changed because of the dirt you dug up. What? Enough obscurity. Explain yourself, witness. What's to explain? I'm talking about the poison, of course. The poison? Let's ask a professor for a comment on the situation, shall we? I understand that a deadly poison you were developing was stolen from your lab, correct? And it's been shown that this poison was administered to the victim as bread. Is that right? That is correct. The unusual constriction of the victim's pupils are a sure sign that this poison was used. I see. So presumably that means that the victim already had the poison in her body before she was stabbed? Given that her pupils were clearly constricted, it seems highly likely, yes. If she had been dead already, the poison could not have circulated in her blood. Wow, he changed really quickly. How refreshing to hear the argument of a metropolitan mind. Precisely, it matters not a jot who stabbed whom, in whose back, and with whose blade. Because, quite simply, the Englishwoman's life was taken not by the knife, but by the poison.
Objection!
Alright, Romeo and Juliet. It was not the knife that killed you. It was the poison. Stab. Wow, that's the worst Romeo and Juliet story I've ever heard. Except that only one person died in this story. But that can't be explained by the poison being on the blade, as I already... Forgotten already, have we, yokel? During these very proceedings, the lab of the professor at your side assisted in proving that the blade of the weapon used to attack the victim had no trace of poison on it whatsoever. It's because it's in the pen. You suck up the poison juice with the pen and go and that's it. Easy as that. When can we prove that it was in the pen already? So let me get this down. The facts, as skillfully established by the defense in this trial, turned out to be a headline-making red herring. Is that about right? Well, we need a back broken counter. How many times did she break her back in this thing? Order, but what does this leave us? How in that case did the poison enter the victim's body? There's an undeniably obvious answer to that. The lady most likely imbibed it. You mean she drank it? Have another look at the photograph here. As you can see, a bottle of carbonated water and a glass had been knocked onto the sandy floor at the beach hut. The poison could have been slipped into either. So somebody made Miss Brett drink it. Well, what do you know? Look at these dashing eyes. This will make a great front page shot. Hey, why the bewitching stare? After all, I'm the last person you should be looking at. It would make no sense at all that I poisoned the woman, would it? I mean, that's been established already.
Hold it.
Established? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you've forgotten. That's a little hard to believe, given that the person who established it was you. Me? What on earth does he mean? Ooh, let me capture those wide eyes. This is prime press fodder, this is. It would seem that this trial is not destined to end yet after all. I hereby call upon the witness to give further testimony. That's great, that is. Let me get a shot at that magnificent beard, Your Excellency. You claim it to be impossible that you were the one responsible for administering the poison to the victim. By the way, chat, I love the beard though. Like, I want to grow my beard as big as I can. I want to have big beard as well. Do you think it'd be possible, chat, to have big beard? You will explain to the court in your testimony the basis upon which you make such a claim. I'm a journal and I'm a man. I've never tried to run or hide from anything in my life. And I'm not about to start now because that's memoism. For a brief moment, I thought I illuminated the truth, but it slipped right back into obscurity again. Just where is this trial going to take us? It's going to take us in many places. By the way, chat, so I remember the first night that when I did this last night, somebody said, how long does this take? About an hour, 2 hours? So if I did 2 hours last night and almost an hour and a half right now, this first episode is already over 3.5 hours. This first episode is long. Oh yes, I stabbed the English woman, and it's that very fact that proves I'm innocent. Because why would I have bothered to stab the woman if I had already poisoned her? When I heard the student girl and that pompous English murderer arguing, it got my goat. If the courts weren't gonna punish Brett for what she did, someone else would have to see justice done. My flashlight! It's that! So you admit it then? That everything happened as I described? That you were the one who stabbed Miss Brett in the back through the read screen? You can blame this miserable country of ours. A country that bows to the pressure of foreign powers and let murderers walk free. What kind of future can a country like that have? That's why I did it. I did what our prophetic leaders didn't have the guts to do. Slap bang in the middle of that charming lady's back, I plunged a blade of sweet justice right in there. Ooh. As someone who spends his life seeing that the truth is told, I feel really, really awful about giving false info in my testimony before. But as it turns out, there was somebody else who added in for the victim and got to her before me. That's right, you guessed it. That pretty little student girl. Now there's a woman after my own heart. Hold on a second, before we get to that. You're 38 and she's 16, you disgusting fruit. You're implicating Ray again. She's the one who gave the poison to the English woman and ended her pitiful existence. And suddenly, snap, this journal here is off the hook. The argument is sound, certainly. If the witness had administered the poison himself, he need only have waited for it to take effect. Subsequently stabbing the victim in the back would have been entirely nonsensical. And therefore, this reporter had nothing to do with the poisoning. Yes, it's all quite logical. That's right, it is. Logical and true. I'm glad you've all seen the light. Justice at last. This is unbelievable. And after I made so much progress in proving his guilt, is he going to get away with it now? Slap! Think of Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san. They never stopped looking for a way forward until the judge's final gavel. Very well done, counsel. Proceed with what I assume to be your final cross-examination in this trial. Oh, she is ready. Yes, your excellency. Here we go, final cross-examination. And then I quit the game. Oh yes, I stabbed the Englishwoman, and it's that very fact that proves I'm innocent. So, you do admit that you had murderous intentions towards Miss Britt then? The woman's very existence offended my sense of justice. Your sense of... He's claiming some sort of righteous indignation? She was pure evil, a cold-blooded killer who committed murder right here on our empire's soil. But did our good-for-nothing government do anything? Not a chance, so I had to step in. Fly the flag of justice, put things right for the people. Yes, it was my civic duty. That's what drove me to do it. So in summary, murderous intentions, then... Whatever you want to call it, the point is this. That Englishwoman was a blight. So I had to do what's right for society. Yet a real wrong was done by the student girl in the dock, a crime for which she must pay. Obviously, because the poisoning was nothing to do with me at all. Because why would I have bothered to stop the woman if I'd already poisoned her? So you still maintain that you didn't give the poison to the victim? Obviously, that'd be like putting a belt on your trousers when you were already wearing braces like these. The accused administered the poison, following which this witness stabbed the victim. An unforgivable act, certainly, but not one of murder. That crime rests on the accused's shoulders. That is how the law works, you see, yokel. Who knows, you may even learn something here today. 2 consecutive attempts on her life in the space of minutes? Quite a day for the victim. Do something that evil and you've got it coming. That's how the law works, the law of reckoning. That's not the kind of law this court upholds. You will reiterate why you were compelled to stop the victim then, witness. When I heard the student girl and that pompous English murderer arguing, it got my goat. What exactly were they arguing about? About what happened in that restaurant 9 months ago, that's what. The student girl was laying into the Englishwoman for killing her beloved mentor, Dr. Wilson. Yes, John H. Wilson. A professor of medicine, invited here from England by Professor Mikotoba, no less. Right, but the Englishwoman just jeered. Her case was to be heard by the British consular court in Shanghai. However, there is little doubt that she would simply have been acquitted and sent back to her homeland a free woman. It was eating that student girl up inside, you could see it. I really fell for her. Oh. Is it? It's... I can't. I can't stand here and listen to this tripe. Ray, young girl, you stand accused here. You can't just blurt out whenever you feel like it. No, you can't. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of some very important testimony here. Just keep quiet and listen. But this awful man is making all this up. Susato, please, you have to make them listen. Return to the dock at once, Minbami-san. We are in the middle of a cross-examination. Your Excellency, please, I implore you. That journalist is clearly not a trustworthy witness. Exactly. He's a filthy, rotten, black-hearted, bigoted, dirty, great peeping Tom. Whoa, take it easy there. Please, I really think the court should hear what the defendant has to say. Your Excellency, I see no need whatsoever to entertain the accuser's remarks. I will grant the request of the defense. But, Your Excellency! This is likely to be the final cross-examination of these proceedings. As such, I believe it would be ill-advised to stifle the defendant's obvious concerns. So, whilst recognizing that this contravenes regular protocol, I hereby call upon the defendant to speak. Oh. Go Judgy Udgy, let's go. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Can we have Your Excellency for Smash? It was nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We were discussing the stolen poison. The stolen poison that killed the victim, you mean? I suspected her of being the one to steal it. I mean, just think about how she killed Dr. Wilson. That's true. Additionally, Miss Brett certainly had knowledge of the new poison. But surely it would be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed with the government? Indeed, all visitors to the lab are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult. That's true. I pestered Professor Mikotoba until he agreed to show me the poison when I visited his lab. But as I left, I was searched from top to tail. Ms. Brett rather bluntly revealed the existence of the toxin we've been developing, you see. And since Soseki-san expressed such an interest in it, I felt unable to refuse. Obviously, I gave nothing away other than the fact that it was an extremely potent substance. I'm very ashamed of myself. It's just that I've had a singularly terrible experience with deadly poison. I wanted to look my old enemy in the eye. Surely you can understand that. To find out if my susses were true, I confronted Miss Brett about the poison. I told her that if there were to be an incident involving it somehow, it wouldn't just be the university. The military would be dragged into it. The whole government even. It would be a complete disaster. And how did Miss Brett respond to your concerns? She just curled those beautiful lips of hers and said she didn't know the first thing about it. In English, actually. Ah, yes. Many Memo-san, one small question if you don't mind. I do mind. Can't you see I'm busy? Clearly, you were outside the beach hut listening in whilst the defendant and Miss Brett were conversing. Presumably then, it was you who wrote this article about what you heard. Exclusive, deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Lab. The story was published in this morning's edition of Shoya News. The details are too accurate for it to have been written by anyone else. Sorry, didn't know what you were talking about. Yes, look at this. The entire article. It's almost what I said to Ms. Brett, word for word. Well, Mini Memo-san? As a journo and as a citizen of a free country, I don't have to reveal my sources. That's a founding principle of Mini Memoism. Father's clearly right about this. That reporter did write that article, and he based it on what he overheard from outside the hut. He gleaned by eavesdropping. That's the updated thing. So that's what it was all about. You were trying to cover up the fact that you were listening in. That's why you came up with that stinking story about me arguing with her. Shut up. My stories never stink. They smell a bit, but give them a little clean and it's all good. Look, whatever you say, little girl, it doesn't alter the facts. Your Excellency, there's something I want to say, and I wanted to go on record. Very well, you may amend your formal testimony. The point is, if you poisoned someone, there'd be no reason to then go stab the person as well. Perhaps you doubted the efficacy of the poison and sought to make sure your victim would die. That's horse dung. What? That would be like pouring pepper on your Chinese ramen before you even tasted it. Completely reckless. Although, it might surprise you to learn that I am a bit of an impetuous pepper pour as it happens. Once the victim had taken the poison, she would have been only minutes away from death. And yet this man then proceeded to stab her in the back as well. There has to have been a good reason for that. If it was the reporter who gave the poison to Miss Brett, then clearly, he must have done it prior to Ray entering the hut. Yes, that's undeniable. But between him leaving the hut and the victim being stabbed, there was one very crucial change in the situation. Sorry, what change? The reporter overheard the conversation between Ray and the Englishwoman. Yes, that's it. That's when Mini Memo-san first found out about the exact nature of the poison he used. That could be the key here. If the victim had unwittingly taken the poison already, the reporter would have no reason to stab her. Hold on, chat. Just gotta finish this here. Alright, just one more thing for this day and it's all done. Oh, wait, did I get the right thing? By the way, how's everybody in chat doing so far? We made it over an hour and a half. Everybody holding up all right this night? Because I hope so. And a piece de resistance that I'll start in 20 minutes. Alright. On the face of it, that logic sounds entirely reasonable. But there's no question that this man was responsible for Miss Brett's murder. If we could think of a plausible explanation as to why he might have stabbed her even after the poisoning, I feel sure that everything would drop into place. That's what we should be looking for. Yes, I agree, and in order to do that, I must try to glean more info. I'm gonna do a big old savey save real quick, chat. Alright, let's see. I'm busy, got your goat. Talking about the poison. The point is, if you poison someone, there'd be no reason to then go and stab the person as well. Let's see. Poison. Beta 1 minutes. And then you just toxin. I could present this, but there'd be no reason to stab the person as well. Unless it was to try and cover it up. A good old cover up, huh? That would be great. There'd be no...
Objection!
Yeah, I was gonna present that anyway. I was like, okay. Well, I could think of one reason. What? What? Well, before I explain, I'd like you to confirm something for the court. Did you glean all the info for this newspaper article from what you overheard outside the hut? Of course he did. There can be no question of that. After all, when we were all in the lab together, all we were told is that it was a terrible toxin. And there was one more important fact to consider. According to the witness, Minbami-san's verbal attack against the victim began as soon as she entered the hut. In other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink.
Objection!
Where are you going with this, counsel? Manny Memo-san has made it quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened in the beach hut. If the defendant had somehow found an opportunity, this man would have seen it. Which means that Miss Brett couldn't have imbibed the poison whilst the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Minbami-san entered the hut. Yes, very articulately put. When I walked into the hut, I immediately started to press Miss Brett about the poison. At which point, Manny Memo-san overheard some worrying info. Worrying info? What worrying info? The info which he subsequently included in his newspaper article, namely, that the poison was being developed in strict secrecy and that it couldn't be readily obtained. Absolutely, in fact, that's quite an understatement. The only possible place it could come from is my lab. And furthermore, anyone afflicted by the poison would exhibit telltale signs in death. The extreme constriction of the pupils. Yes, it's quite stark when you see it. There are other poisons that show similar symptoms, but not among new substances that are undetectable. In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life had been ended by the use of this particular poison, which would reduce the number of susses to only a handful of people. Everyone in my lab is aware of the unique properties of the toxin we've been developing. None of them would be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some nefarious deed. Minbami-san being no exception. Therefore, we can conclude that whoever administered this unique poison to the victim was a layperson unaware of its telltale properties. In other words, someone like you writes in many memo. God!
Right in Memi Memo.
It was you who stole the poison from the lab that day, and it was you who administered it to the unwitting victim. But you quickly realized that was a terrible mistake, because the poison caused such unusual symptoms and was so traceable. As you listen in from the far side of the beach hut's thin walls, you learned of these facts, but you already given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late, so you hatched a plan to disguise your mistake. A plan that involves stabbing the victim in the back through the read screen.
Objection!
Oh dear, I've been impaled. But what good could that possibly do? Isn't it obvious, Counsel? The plan was to kill Miss Brett before the poison could take effect. Once in the blood, the poison causes the onset of pupil constriction, but he had hoped to precipitate the victim's death before that happened, hadn't he? Exactly. Because without any revealing signs of the new secret poison's use, no one would ever have sussed. This is extraordinary. Yes, the effects of the poison meant it would be too easily identified, so the killer had to mask its use, which he attempted to do by plunging a knife into the middle of the victim's back. Alright, Joker, thanks for coming down. Peace out. Ugh. Ah, that splashed water on my face. Ow. There's water on my face. I need a paper. Oh. That was a massive splashback. Drinking water so much that my face wanted more water. Order! The argument presented is sound. The court is satisfied that it warrants consideration. Does the prosecution have a counter-argument it wishes to put forward? Well, there are a number of... yes, I counter completely.
Objection!
The prosecution's evasive response clearly shows that in much the same way as he nurtures the remnants of his top knot, he is clinging to lost hope. Lost hope? Oh boy. It's always him in that pose. Oh. He threw down the hat. You pathetic, useless, fallen samurai. Fallen? Who are you calling fallen? My burgeoning growth is on the rise. I don't need a counter-argument. What? What are you talking about? It should be blatantly obvious. I stole the poison, you say. Gave it to the victim, you say. Stabbed her, you say. Lots of fine theories. But I don't need a counter-argument because you don't have an argument yourself. Where's your evidence? Yes, you make it all sound so plausible, don't you? But without evidence, it means nothing. Whereas I base my news on facts. Facts? What do you mean? Explain yourself. I mean, what the professor said early in this trial. It's all here in my many memos. Every word, every slip of the tongue, all noted. That's what the Shoyo News is famous for, is the power of the printed word. But surely it will be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed for the government. Indeed, all visitors to the lab are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult. How's that then? Blown the story wide open? See? I write in many memo, a mere reporter from the Shoyo News. Couldn't possibly have stolen that poison from the professor's lab. Ah! Broken back. But there can't be any question of it. He must have stolen the poison that day. He stole it and used it to kill. And if that's the case, as you've identified, the poison itself is the definitive evidence we need. because whoever stole it from the lab that day is the true culprit here. Whoever stole it dealt it. What's your point, you annoyingly handsome country bumpkin? Handsome? My point is this. There is one way that you, Mini Memo-san, could have stolen the poison that day. I have heard enough verbal conjecture now, thank you. What the court must be shown is evidence. What proof do you have that this witness stole the poison on the day in question? Pen! The proof, Your Excellency, is this fountain pen. A fountain pen? How can that possibly be relevant? These magical pens somehow seem to have enough ink to write many thousands of kanji characters. I believe they arrived in our country for the first time some 15 years ago now. I swear by a weasel hair calligraphy brush and nothing else. These newfangled pens are merely a fad. Well, as a forward-thinking man of words, obviously I love my fountain pen. Suck up a soup con of sumptuous ink, and one's work is washed with words in a blink of an eye. That's right. Fountain pens have a small reservoir in the barrel, into which ink is sucked up through the nib of the pen in order to write with later. What does all this talking of sucking up ink have? And just as it's possible to suck up ink into the reservoir, it's also possible to eject it through the nib again, of course. My word, can this really be? Well, Mini Memo-san? When you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the lab that day, you used your pen, your very lifeblood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison up through the nib and into the pen's reservoir. Oh! Nice. More absurdity. That never happened. True, we've heard that there were procedures in place to prevent deaths like this from the lab. But would anyone have thought to look inside a pen of all places? No, I'm a little ashamed to say that for fear of offending our guests, such a detailed search would not have been conducted. Well, this is quite startling, I must say. I remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped at the scene by Mini Memo-san. So the crucial question is, when exactly was the pen dropped? Are you suggesting? The natural conclusion is that in your haste to act whilst the victim was distracted for a moment, you dropped the pen after you emptied the poison from it into her glass. There could be any number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by one of her outrageous answers, the pen fell from his quivering hand. No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoid of ink? What? As you can see for yourself, if you examine the evidence, there will appear to be no ink present in the reservoir. What newspaper reporter goes to interview someone with nothing in his pen? No, the pen was dropped after the poison that filled its reservoir had been emptied into the victim's glass. Witness, what do you have to say in your defense? So this is how our modern justice system works, is it? So what if the ink in my pen runs dry? So what if my pencil snaps? I can always claw my way back into the game like Wolverine. I have plenty in reserve. Ah! Did he just throw pencils at everybody? You claim I sucked the poison up into my pen? That's wild speculation, nothing more. If you thought you can bring down a fine, upstanding citizen with a trick like that, think again. It looks as though it's going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter. As I see it, the situation is now very simple. It rests upon whether or not this witness did indeed steal the poison on the day in question. And therefore, it all depends upon whether or not the defense can prove that he did with the evidence. No such evidence could possibly exist. Mini Memo-san, this is how our modern justice system works. What? In the courtroom, evidence is everything. Something you would do well to remember. Because we are well past the point of speculation at this stage, I assure you. Very well then. I call upon the defense to present the aforementioned evidence. This is it then. This will be the final piece in the puzzle. The defense can prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that was used to steal the poison. By means of this item that was used. The witness's pen that was used to steal the poison. I would present that. It was the witness's pen that was used. Yeah, so I have to present this, right? By the defense can prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that was used to steal the poison. Yeah. By means of this item that was the witness's pen. What item? Could it be the chemical reagent though? No, it can't be the reagent, right? What could it be? I'm sorry, Jed. I'm still trying to. It's like I could think it's this thing, but then it could not be. Poison lace blade. Even the smallest amount entering the body. I'm gonna use the poison article. You believe that this evidence will prove beyond doubt that the witness used his pen to steal the poison? Dang it. Of course not. Alright, gotta start the final thing for my work this weekend. Oh my goodness, like right now I'm sweating right now. Come on, it should be simple, I know, but why isn't my brain working? I will present the pen, but I'm pretty sure it's not the pen, right? Yeah, it's not the pen. I would present the pen, show the reservoir, and be like, yeah, there it is, the pen reservoir. So the defense can prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that was used to seal the poison. The chemical reagent? Oh, so how could the reagent be used? What is that bottle? This bottle contains the unique chemical reagent that can identify the poison in question. Ah. Yes, that poison is an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids developed by my colleagues and I. It would be impossible to detect traces of it by any other method. Or from another perspective, simply with this chemical reagent, anybody at all could check for traces of the poison. A reagent? What? One drop of the contents of this bottle on the tip of your fountain pen. Oh, we're just testing it basically, because we have a way to test it. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, by the way, there's still some liquid in the pen. You want to give it a shot, Mini Memo-san? Yeah, you're dead. One drop of the contents of this bottle on the tip of your fountain pen, Mini Memo-san, is all it will take to solve this case beyond all reasonable doubt. No, you can't. I won't. Your crimes are bad enough, but at least no one to admit defeat. Your Excellency, the defense requests permission to carry out the test on the fountain pen at once. Oh. This isn't my fault. The Empire drove me to do this, trying to hold its head high as a civilized nation by bowing its head to every foreign power. I took upon to the form of the mighty pen and fought tirelessly all in the name of justice and righteousness. Yet the minimum was a Susato with me! Oh. I'm there! Did I do it right? That was a Susato takedown, wasn't it? Not quite. That was a Ryutaro takedown! Yes! The instant, oh my goodness, that was amazing. The instant the first drop of the regent touched the nib of the fountain pen, it was clear to everyone present. Oh goodness, that was amazing. When I saw it there in the lab, the poison. The devil got hold of me, and I decided to do it on a whim. I excused myself and emptied all the ink down the sink in the bathroom, washing the reservoir out carefully. And then you waited for an opportunity to suck up some of the poison, didn't ya? Into your fountain pen. Yes, that's right. Answer me one thing, Mini Memo-san. Why did you steal it? For what purpose? Isn't it obvious? To find out what it was made of and expose it in an article. I mean, it was a secret project after all. Too juicy for a journal like me to pass up. Then why did the English woman end up dead? I went into that hut intending to quiz her on the situation, that's all. As a reporter. A known killer enjoying full freedom. Evading justice by leaving the country. I told her what I thought about it. And she just laughed in my face. Oh, but what's this? A Far Eastern caveman purporting to practice journalism? Really, you must learn the difference between reporting and listening at doorways. You ignorant plebeian. What did you call me? This country with its pretensions to a justice system, to a free press, it's really very depressing. You see our superior ways in the West, yet you lack the mental capacity to emulate them. Get out of here, you oaf. Get out and crawl back into the cave you came from. Dang. That's when I remembered about the deadly poison I happened to have in my pen at the time. What a terrible tale. In my head, I knew I should just get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't. Come on, fandom. I know what you're saying is what you think of her. But there's no way to be saying that right now on stream, right here, right now, below me as it disappears into the void forever. But still, in a way, I do agree, though. She is a jerkwad female wimp. I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done when she clearly had no remorse at all. That's it, a salty biscuit. I forgot about the salty biscuit. We never forget about the salty biscuit. What a freaking biscuit. I suppose it was my journal spirit getting all fired up. What a biscuit. A salty, salty biscuit. It sounds silly, doesn't it? Salty biscuit, salty, salty biscuit. Biscuit. I'd like to ask you something. Yes? You often talk about justice. But surely as a journalist, you could have used other means to deliver the justice you sought. There's no justice in the press. Sorry? After that trial 9 months ago, I kept digging and digging to find out what had happened in that courtroom. And finally, I discovered the truth. It was a cover-up, that's what it was. A cover-up? What do you mean? I will remind you of your position, witness. Be careful with what you say. Oh, come on. Doesn't it strike you as strange? We're suddenly not allowed to convict a foreign national? Consular jurisdiction should never have come into it. And yet that puffed-up Englishwoman was gonna sail away into the sunset a free woman. The only possible explanation is that, behind the scenes, some deal had gone down between Britain and Japan. What sort of deal? I'd done my research, dug up all the dirt. It was all ready to be published. But you know what happened? The editor just tore the article off. He came under pressure from the government, you mean? If our government is going to let criminals walk free, if they're going to crush the free press, then what choice do I have but to see that justice is done myself? Let's not forget, Mini Memo-san, that you committed murder yourself and you tried to lay the blame at the defendant's door. I'm sorry, but you're no better than Jezile Brett. What? You say what? The truth is, you have no right to talk about justice at all. I suppose. His neck snaps. Oh no, he died! It would appear that we have reached a conclusion in this trial at last. Counsel for the defense, Ryotaro Naruhodo. Oh, yes, you're talking about me. Sorry, Your Excellency. Just musing in a manly way here. Just looking at my nails in a manly way. Wow, these nails are short. It's almost unbelievable that this is your first experience. It's almost unbelievable that this is your first experience at the Supreme Court. It was an excellent performance. In truth, it very much reminded me of your cousin's exploits. Oh, Naruhodo, Ryunosuke, you mean? The way he handled the trial 9 months ago and the way you handled this one, it gives me hope that we're genuinely entering a new era of justice in this land. That's very flattering, Your Excellency. Hearing the defense you put forward today made me feel most keenly that the future of our justice system will be forged by you and your contemporaries. Thank you. So, Prosecutor Alchi, do you have any final thoughts? Oh! I hope he's going to be cutting some bread with that knife on that fancy little table he has. Prosecutor Alchi? I, Takasuchi of the Alchi clan, have been bested by a callow youth not once now but twice. If there was any shred of my former self left, it has withered and died here today. Gosh, your journey to culture enlightenment sure took a while, didn't it? Silence. Rather than living on in shame, I will end it all now with this blade. For that is a true path to Archieism. Archieism? One hopes that's the only way in which he'll be modeling himself after the witness. Sprig of my top knot. The time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever. Takasuchi. Wow. So this really went in a different direction than I thought it would. I thought he was going to commit Sudoku. But that was a clean cut though. He could make it as a barber even. Everybody's putting their hands together. Everybody pray for him. That was something. I liked it. Now, in regards to the defendant, Raymond Bami-san. Yes, Your Excellency. I have reached my final verdict. I hereby find you not guilty. Hey, rose petals falling from the sky. Also, Citrix, to answer your question, I think we should do a little bit of episode 2 tonight. I mean, if everybody wants that. I mean, who wants episode 2? Who wants me to start episode 2 tonight? Show of hands. Why did I look back only to disappear? What the heck? Every single time. Court is adjourned. Ooh, what a crick in the neck. We did it. We did it. We did it. We are winners. We are fighting dreamers. Fighting dreamers. It's over. My heart is still pounding in my chest, though. It's all I can do just to stay standing. There he is. Lawyers have such great responsibility, such a great burden to bear. Don't they, Naruhodo-san? And then he shows up right there. That's right, Susato, I'm back. Susato! Thank you so much. You were so dashing in there. Ray and father. Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've... Oh no, I think I'm gonna cry. It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end too. The only reason I'm still here is because of you. Oh no, I can't take all the credit. It took courage to tell the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have to say that the congratulations belong to you. Susato, don't be so standoffish. Sorry? We're friends, equals, and the trial's over. So no more of this formal super humility nonsense. It's time to celebrate with swagger, to throw caution to the wind. Caution to the... what? I'm the great defense lawyer Ryotaro Naruhodo, and I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something. Right, I see. I'll, think about it, Ray. At any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that hard man, and it felt so good. Yes, it was satisfying. It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw together? Oh, I hope you're not looking at me, Ray. Oh my goodness, no, of course not. Of course not. Hey, Takasuchi Ouchie! Flip! Ah, there it is at last. Ray's lovely smile. You fought for your friend to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you, defense attorney Ryotaro Naruhodo. Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryotaro, I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikotoba now. So I'll never see him again then? What a terrible shame. I was about to crush on him. What? Oh. What is happening? Ah, so Seki-san and Inspector Hosonaga, I do hope you've been keeping well. Is that really you? Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons. You know, it would have been better if we just did this outside instead of in here where there's actually officials around. For obvious reasons, I hope, but it's me. Susato Mikotoba. I don't. So dashing, so divine. No! Undoubtedly dashing, yes, and devilishly divine, just look at you! I had no idea, Miss Susato-san Esquires, that you were a locum student Naruhodo-san Esquire's cousin! Astonishingly astounding Ace Attorney! Hey, Ace Attorney, I wonder when that will come into play. But they were so proud. They're so proud of Susato. It's so nice, right? They were so proud of her. Furuso Seki-san, so confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. He was in a prison cell in London. What an extraordinary conundrum it was that the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiled in. But after Naruhodo-san's skillful defense at the Old Bailey, so Seki-san was free to return to Japan. And now he seems to have earned himself great fame as an author. I'm stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea, and I'm a chief inspector at the police bureau. Who came up with Mr. Turtle, no less? Is Mr. Turtle just like the Blue Badger? Like, I made the Blue Badger. Well, guess what? I made Mr. Turtle, so who won there? I'm not sure you should be admitting to that, Inspector. Amazing, you're a woman of many faces, I see. Just two, really. And this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector. Well, I am a professional, of course. I do worry about Inspector Hosonaga sometimes, I really do. 9 months ago, when he appeared here at the Supreme Court to testify, he was undercover disguised as the head waiter of a restaurant. Aww, then on the steamship to Great Britain, of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey. Though that didn't help you, did it, Kazuma-sama? From my perspective, I have to admit that I had mixed feelings about all this. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever. What do you mean? I'm talking about the murder that the Englishwoman committed at the end of last year. Yes, it was an English doctor she killed, as I understand it. Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally. The mystery is, why did she kill him? And now that the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer. On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter with Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, the great detective, I mean. Except that you know, CV. Oh, are you the great Sherlock Sholmes yourself? Sherlock Sholmes. Even I mixed up the name. Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course. Ah, my arch nemesis. How lightly you utter his name. Well, according to the stories published about him in the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes, a best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine by the name of John H. Wilson. What? By the way, will we ever find out what happened about the Hound of the Baskervilles in this game, chat? Because it was brought up. I wonder, will we know about the Hound of Baskervilles? Oh, yep. Yay! I can't wait. I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I think that the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Sholmes. And if that's really true, then the poor girl won't ever see her beloved father again. As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born. Yes, grandmother told me about it. On returning to Japan, I took up my professorship at the Imperial Yume University, but I also served another role as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs. Yes, I was aware of that as well. In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you. Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan? It's been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you collapsed with a high fever and you were growing weaker by the day. What? Where did that news come from? That's what I like to know, because after that long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceived might inconvenience me in some way or harm me? That's really the only explanation I can think of. Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato? I'm sorry, my dear, I simply can't. Let me go! Oh. Did he change his shirt or something? He looks a bit different. Or maybe that's just because he's front viewing. I don't know. Many Memo-san. So, one throw wasn't enough for you. Do it again. I've got one last thing to say before they take me away. Professor! Me? I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on in that visiting student's fate. Visiting student? Josiah Brett, you mean? No, not her. The student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago. What? Student of law? He must mean Kazuma-sama. Oh, his bottom half, yeah. What are you talking about? What does any of this have to do with Kazuma-sama? Nobody in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on the steamship, and that he'll never... Ah! What? What? This is the weirdest profile I'm seeing in my life. We get to see Judgy. Actual Judgy. Not covered by a desk. Actual Judgy. And he just flipped him. My man. What were your officers playing at? The judge was like, if you're not doing your job, I'll do it myself. If you gotta do a job right, you better do it yourself. Terribly sorry, Your Excellency. It's so weird seeing the judge like right there and not at a. Oh, this is weird. This is weird. Duh. I was coming to tell you that the rickshaw has arrived, Yujin, and it's a good job I came by. Yes, thank you for dealing with him, and I'll be there shortly. Oh, Your Excellency. The trial's over. I'm not Your Excellency anymore. I'm merely your father's friend, Seishiro Jigoku. Seishiro Jigoku. And may I say, since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more dashing appearance. So he just knows. Susato. He was just cool with it. Did you know all along from the start of the trial? A judge sees everything, Susato. I couldn't let you take the risk if Seishiro here hadn't known and then he recognized you. So I had a word in his ear beforehand as an old friend. So Seishiro, shall we? Yes, having ruled in that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address. Before you go, father. Sorry, my dear. We shall have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. But well done again, both of you. You did admirably. Oh, thank you very much. What did you get my Seishiro sling, eh? It's been a while since I sent a man flying like that. They say Shido fling. Sling. Fling, sling, whatever it is. Whatever could father be hiding from me? So, do you think Jigoku is important in any way? I don't know. A judge with an actual name and front profile like that. Nah. About Josiah Brett, about Dr. Wilson. And now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring this up with father sometime. But then father's gonna die, I bet, when nobody else is around. Oh. Judicial Assistant Mikoto-san Esquires, could I have a word? Oh, yes, of course, Oseki-san. What is it? I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you. Oh? I believe that it may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England. This I have to hear. Please, Oseki-san, tell me at once. I will. As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. Such awful things I was embroiled in. Thank goodness locum student Naruhodo-san Esquire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Mikotoba. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report. My father? He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent a telegram to you asking you to return to Japan. What was it then? The particular part my father was interested in. I don't really know exactly. But do you remember them? Those two terrible cases I was caught up in? Of course, I could never forget. Your father seemed to concern himself mainly with the second case. The second one? You mean the one Mr. Sholmes forbade any of us to talk about in public? Which is why the only case involving you that any member of the public aware of is the first? Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. That horrific, hideous, heinous case, the case of the haunted lodgings. Oh boy. That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan? I thought that whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong. Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told. Oh, we're just connecting all the dots here, aren't we? So many dots. Oh, dang, that's bright. So bright.
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness. And having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Sosik-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds
two guys that
keys
showed up in
from
case
great
4.
unsolved mystery.
Wait,
My notes on the case
and we
should
never
still
saw
be in the office,
again?
tucked away at the back of the shelf
The
somewhere.
only two guys that I have in my mind are the
Perhaps
two
you might like to
two
look
like
over them
brothers. Unless this is somebody
Today,
else you're talking
For the
about.
first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue. It makes me long to see you again. Yours, Susato.
What a sweet end. The overly fancy guy and the guy with the big chin. Oh, those two. Oh boy. The crimson chin got... Hey! I got an achievement. Alright, and that is the end of episode 1. How's everybody feeling about that? We are back. With the memoirs of the Cloud Kokoro? Oh, we are going back with the freaking Cloud Kokoro again, aren't we? I remember the Cloud Kokoro. Alright, I think it's here, right? Special content for special peeps like me. Alright, chat, give me 1 second. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be back in about a minute or 2, maybe 3. So, in the meantime, take your small break. I'll be right back. Hey, thank you for being patient, everybody. We're back with more Naruhodo-san Esquire and Susato-san Esquire S, the video game. Hope everybody did what they need to do during their break, as we are now back. Alright, so let's go check out these outfits for the second game. So we have Iris's homemade suit. Oh. Wow, that's actually pretty good. I like it. We have Iris's homemade dress. Oh, that's so nice. I like it. And then Sholmes' Japanese jumble mix. Nah. I like that look better. I like the old look better. Alright, shall we continue on with episode 2, the memoirs of the Claudical Koro? I don't know, that alternative outfit doesn't work for him. It just doesn't.
Oh boy.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime.
On Briar Road again? Can people stop dying on Briar Road?
As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern exchange student from his
Oh wait, this is what happened last time.
Then in the dim, flickering shadows
yeah,
of
right?
gaslight, did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that
Oh, more death. Gotcha. More death. This is more death.
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines.
By the way, how's it going, Alex?
Haunted apartment of death. The condemned criminal's curse. The dread demon of coal gas.
Kolgas.
Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Oh boy. I should probably update my title then to say episode 2 now. There we go. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy, consultancy of sorts. That's how you pronounce it, consultancy. Also, I need to charge my controller. Where's the wire? Wire? I didn't even know. Right here. Low battery, am I right? What's the point of batteries? Why not just make them forever? There we go. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber. Thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. That was quite the rumble. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. Hello, great detective and flatmate, whose names I don't know. But here we are, we're back. We're back inside Sholmes' suite. Ah, Runo, good. I was just about to crawl up to you. The bacon's ready. Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. This could be just the abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation-repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, I see. Oh my... Kiss him! You want to kiss the man on the lips, you do it now! Alright, you're too late. Ah, yes, I see, so that's it. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course, though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you. Hurley pulled your button off? Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder then that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. Can I get the button back, please? I want it back. Button. Give me button now. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring. But Hurley, Bruno said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning. Well, that really is a surprise. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it gets cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too, my latest special blend. And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, as published in Rand's magazine. So, Mrs. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Ah, well, I received a letter from Japan. Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it? Really? That's right, and she had some rather startling news, in fact. Hold on, chat, just gotta finish this thing real quick. I think I am done with the weekend job for tonight. Hooray! That is done. I will deal with the rest after the stream. Alright, cool. That's right, and she has some rather startling news, in fact. Ah, intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast. Oh yes, what fun. Oh, I guess we'll talk about it now. Oh wait, hold on a second. Do I have it? Yes, my armband. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Shh, not another word. Ah, yes, I see. This would be a crawler for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck and for winter use? Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as a defense lawyer. Precisely, which leads us to but one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this now. The man's barking mad. Oh, goodness. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning by International Post. Oh, how lovely. Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it. And how is your assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she's actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case. Really? Oh, isn't she wonderful? A cut above your own good self, my dear fellow. I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mrs. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume. Nope, don't recall that name. Of course you do, we helped the man twice. You know those 2 cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago? Ah, the mustached, twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache. The mustache man with the mustache. Yes, that one. He didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley. Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Although I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. Startling news. So, what was this startling news penned by Miss Usato? Do you remember the cases of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes, it's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. He's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Usato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago? For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mrs. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Usato's father questioned him about the case, he says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram. Oh, that case, yes. It was very strange, wasn't it? Yes. And I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication, too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said, very mysteriously as well. Really? I said that? Are you sure? Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Usato was suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan? Do you? It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan. Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. He is being annoyingly dismissive. Isn't that just Sholmes in a nutshell? Sholmes in a nutshell is like, oh, this thing we did yesterday, I don't remember. You do remember! That's right, I do remember. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No, it just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse. A ruse? So Susie's daddy lied to her so she'd make the voyage back home? Why would he do that? I have to admit I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Miss Usato's father is hiding. Hurley, do you know what it's all about? Oh, he just put on his clothes, cool. Ah, well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man devoid in my absence, won't you, Iris? I will, Hurley, don't worry. See you later. Imagine just waving yourself off like that. Wave and... Hold on, can I try doing that? I'm gonna try doing that real quick. Let me do something like that. I wonder if I wonder what will happen like immediately. So let's see. So that was weird. He scuttled off rather quickly there. Now do the meme. Wait, which meme are you talking about? It's like so many of them. I don't know which meme. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By of all people, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, the peace sign thing. So it's just so what? Does it just go like Ah! Aha, I found them at last. Iris, are they? The notes about the case? That's right, Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Runo? Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light. That's the spirit and I'll shoot them. Ooh, what's this music here? I like it. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue. And I have to find all the time, and I have all the time in the world. Make the fading a channel point incentive? I could try doing that. It was in case 2 of game 1. Which is why it took so long to hear this again. Also because the gap it took me to play between game 1 and game 2, so I don't get burned out. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense, because of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. So are we just detectivizing? Are we no longer quarterizing, we're detectivizing? It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. Oh yeah, this one. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, how could I get burned out of Ace Attorney? Citrix, here's how it went. I played the trilogy back to back to back. Then I went to Apollo Justice right afterwards. I got burned. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. It took almost a year to get back to the game. So I did not want that to happen again. The fog was thick and nobody saw her attack her, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial and many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation was the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. Jubilee! We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. So Susato-san and I summoned the handsome and headed immediately to the hospital. Got quiet all of a sudden. But mouse? There you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh, that threw me off right there. I was like, wait, what's with the sudden change? I'm like, oh, I changed them myself. She looks great, by the way. You're late. What on earth took you so long? She had to change. What do you mean? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. I'm feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone have been roused at such an hour. I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. You like the steampunk look? It's all thanks to Iris. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Oh. Oh, she's sad. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back. Her name is... Ah, here we are. Miss Green. That's it? Just Miss Green? Also, mouse? Oh, mouse, Mr. Naruhodo, an enormous mouse! Wait, you're right! The thing is big. Vermin in a hospital, that doesn't seem the best. But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. Oh, that's it? That's it? That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though. I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and... No, Mr. Naruhodo. You must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal Elden Ring. A young maiden's personal belongings. Like, maybe Olivia Green would have been a little less on the nose, but nope, olive green, a literal color. That's a great name right there. Olive green. I love that name so much. Her hand kind of clips through her bag there. What bag? Oh, you... Oh. Oh, yes. It's an invisible bag. It just phases through. I wonder what her favorite color is. It's orange. But the young maiden might have chocolates or biscuits or caramel. Caramel. Also, I want to know what's this. This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? Ah, I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe, used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Really? It's not exactly what you call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? Purple? Whose favorite color is purple here? Raise a hand. Who here likes purple? And who here likes olive green? No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before. Is this the Elliot? No, this is Patrick. Oh wait, my friend Chris here, he likes purple. Chris loves purple. Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Chris, how you doing, though? Good morning. Ah, she materialized. Elden Ring, that is how you're doing? Come on, Chris. No maidens? Hello, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Oh no, was it your knife that... Are you the man who... No, I'm a lawyer. Over 70 hours in Elden Ring? Dang. When should I start playing Elden Ring? Am I right? And when should I start playing that thing? And I'm Susato Mikotoba, pleased to meet ya. Oh no, what was it your knife then? Are you the one? No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's assistant. We heard that you regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes. It's so good you can't stop playing it. Then why are you talking to me instead of playing the game? Best wishes for me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. See ya, Chris. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what... Chat, if we want to talk about artists, can we talk about another artist in Apollo Justice who Forged evidence. Is olive green here also Le Forger? Well, what I really mean is I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's related, actually. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down. She is one of you, Chen. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. I feel sorry for her. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in hospital, I mean? Indeed it has, my dear madame. Yeah, Vera Misham. Well, not Vera. I was talking about the guy, but yeah, Vera Misham too. She was the main one. Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mrs. Nadaholder's hard work in court that solved the case. Drew Misham, there we go. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained conscience. Oh my goodness. Chad, I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry that her neck is clipping into her clothing. Oh no, we're all relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are. With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Olive Blue? About yourself, tell us about yourself. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country. By the way, chat, this whole time, that mouse has been vibing the whole time. That is one vibing mouse if it's just staying there, not moving at all. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. I see. How very interesting. Oh no, is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away in the underground from here, and Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixtown Town Center. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Moustache. Inferior means? I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine art student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up. Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs. Oh dear me, do forgive me. If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Oh yes, of course, we won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Up, and she sat back down. I guess that's pretty much it? Oh, we need to keep investigating here. Okay, we can do that. Oh yeah, we can look around a bit more. Well, let's look at our records. Ah, this looks like the patient treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place? A zoo? That's good. That's funny. A zoopidal? You see, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. Whoa, Joni, that's a name I haven't seen in a while. How you do? What do you think about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? I can't wait to look like a 10-year-old again. Oh yeah, chat. Chat, if we're gonna talk about 10-9, tell me in chat, who are you choosing? Are you choosing Quaxel, Sprigatito, or the adorable doopy dinosaur? I'm choosing the Fire Pepper. You remember me? Oh, I think I might be talking about the wrong Joni. Sorry, Joni. I think I might be talking to I think the Joni that I know is Joni 1 Jack 2, not Joni 2 Jack 1. My mistake. For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. I love Fuecoco so much. Fuecoco is my Pokemon for sure. I can't wait to get to that game when it comes out. But that means I gotta finish Arceus first, and it's been a long while since I played Arceus. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. But Joni, how have you been though? How has the Jonesy been? Oh yeah, the image, what's this? Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Look at this photograph! Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. I've been doing alright. What brought you back here? I'm surprised you remember me. Perhaps a young woman's special someone, do you think? My, Mr. Naruto, though, I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Just being a bit of a romantic, I guess. Is there a Mr. Narrowfather here? Mr. Narrowfather? Narrowfather? Oh, Naruhodo. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Mr. Narrowfather. I don't speak your blabbery Japanese. This is for you. It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg? Mr. Natsume sent a message? Saucy Nutmeg, the thing is out. I love these names. Is this how the Japan sees everybody who speaks English? But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume? Exactly, what's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? Oh, what are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says? Have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? You took it away. It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls, a case of murder no less. We must depart at once. Murder? Call a cab, time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. Well, that will be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? Because we're going back to where it all started. It's all here in the know, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Moustache's lodgings. Wait, what? I hail a fiarce at once. I'll summon a fiarque at once. Summon the fiarque. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed at the time. But we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. The fiarque must be called! But yeah, what a start. What a start to a case right there. We just got to see Olive Green. We just woke up early in the morning and now there's another death. Another death, I say. Oh! What on earth? Shakespeare's... Oh my, the gentleman is deceased. Without question, he's dead. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Mr. Natsume. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this? No early bird should catch a worm like this. Won't go warm without wiggle. I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ow! Not the horrible hair-locked Sholmes. Shove off. Show yourself the door. I never invited you. Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume. I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Die. Oh! It's Gregsy! It's Gregsy! Here they are already, the busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson, what a pleasant surprise. Ah, there's infinite fish and chips, let's go! Pleasant is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. Ah, I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Good morning, Inspector. Or British Luigi. Luigi. This is a crime scene, don't you go touching anything. Or good morning to you too, Sunshine. Oh, they're just standing there. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, chat, but I will have to end the stream here for tonight because I have work in the morning. But I will be back on Tuesday. I'll be back Tuesday. Yes, so my streams, I will be streaming all the times this week. So Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Keep a lookout for the schedule tomorrow on the Discord and the Twitter. I will make sure to stream more Danganronpa and more Great Ace Attorney 2, so I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. If you haven't followed, please do for more streams like this. I do upload every day on my YouTube channel, or mostly every day. There we go. Feel free to check them out there. So until next time, everybody, I'll catch you on Tuesday. Same time, same place, same sloth, I guess. Bye-bye, everybody. Also in the future, I'll make sure to do some raids and stuff like that. I just gotta find more people who are streaming and get to know them better. So in the future, keep a lookout for raids. Right now, I don't have any right now, so bye.